When the only being in the universe woke up from the void, it started pondering who it was and what it could become. In order to find the answers to its questions, from the first dimension, the spirit transformed from unity into duality, splitting into thousands of spirits to create the positive and negative energies that later created everything in the universe. Then this being started to create beings and realities with its own body through the sixth dimension by turning vibrations into geometries and crafting realities through spheres and fractals. In the sixth dimension, the architects of the universe, the seraphim, archangels, and Elohim, created the hologram, realities, and beings in the third dimension using their own bodies. They created galaxies, solar systems, suns, and planets with their own bodies. Then, the spheres of life started to create protons, neutrons, and cells, the smallest spheres in the material world. Therefore, the entire universe is just one body, creating different parts of itself through geometries, spheres, and fractals. When different galaxies, solar systems, suns, and planets were created from seraphim and archangels' bodies, the universe became alive, with galaxies as its organs, planets as its cells, and different beings on different planets as its molecules. So when the body of the universe starts to think about who it is, every one of its organs, cells, and molecules needs to become aware of this as well. This is also the reason why the organs, cells, and molecules were created, to help the body understand itself. That's why planets started to be created to act as portals to the self. Every planet in the galaxies is a portal that can talk to the self, the being that created the universe. However, in order for the planet to become aware of who it is, it needs to create life. Through different life forms, it can experience the ideas it's thinking about and find out who it is. Therefore, life happened on different planets. Humanity emerged not because of natural evolution, but because Earth is thinking about who it is. So by creating life within its own body, which we call a planet, every life form or being on this planet can act as a smaller unit of the self, or a cell of the planet, that will help the planet and the universe understand themselves and find out who they are. The existence of every reality we see, every dimension, and every being ultimately comes down to the initial questions asked by the only being in the universe, whom some people refer to as the Creator or God. Who am I? What can I become? Therefore, the reason why everything exists is because this being wants to find out who it is and what it can become. It has the power to create realities for it to experience itself. Thus, different dimensions, realities, worlds, and beings were created as mediums for it to search for the answers to its questions. In the first dimension, it is in an enlightened state. It is all, and it knows all. However, it cannot experience anything. So it asked itself, I know everything, but how do I experience it? That's when it started to create realities and beings. It's all because it wants to experience itself. Therefore, our mission here is to experience life in a conscious way and then bring the information back to the self so the universe can know who it is and what it can become. That's what Ascension is all about, making every being aware of who they are, experiencing life in conscious ways, and acting as molecules and cells to help planets and the universe realize who they are. This is what beings in different dimensions are working for. That's why beings from higher dimensions are providing guidance to people in the third dimension, because in order to help the universe become aware of who it is, They need to awaken every molecule and every cell to their truths. Then every cell will awaken the entire body of the planet that they are a part of. And then the planet will awaken the solar system. And then the solar system will awaken the galaxy. This will produce a fractal effect in every galaxy and system. It's like, in order to awaken the entire body, we need to awaken every molecule, which will in turn awaken every cell, and then every organ, so that the entire body can become aware of who it is. That's why the universe is a symbiotic being, and every one of us plays an important role in helping the universe realize who it is. Similar to Earth's ecological circulatory system, the universe has an ecological circulatory system as well. Just like how everything works on Earth, plants grow through photosynthesis by absorbing energy from the sun. They then become food for animals, the primary consumers in the food chain. Then animals, in turn, become food for humans, who are at the top of the food chain. After humans die, their bodies decompose, returning nutrients to the soil and helping plants grow. The same happens among dimensions. Just as humans consume animals and plants, animals also consume other animals and plants, creating a hierarchical food chain. Beings in the lower dimensions are also food for beings in higher dimensions. The universe has its own hierarchical food chain. For example, people in the third dimension are on the lower level of this food chain, and they are food for beings in higher dimensions, such as the fourth dimension. However, they don't consume tangible things as we do. What they eat is energy. So our energy is food for beings in higher dimensions. That's why some beings in the fourth dimension are using us so that we can create more energy for them. But we can't blame them because we are doing the same to animals and plants. This is just how the ecosystems of the universe and planets work. The universe designed a perfect system where entities can feed off of each other. It's all self-consuming self. But just as how food works in the third dimension, the better the food we eat, the healthier our bodies will be. Beings in higher dimensions also need good food, so their bodies can be healthier. That's why they are helping beings in the third dimension become more conscious, so they can become aware of the energy they are creating and not be used by other beings who just want to use their energy for negative agendas. When we create more good energy, it will become nutrients to higher dimensions and nurture the entire body of the universe. So by raising our level of consciousness, we will be mindful of the energy we are creating instead of being used by other beings to create the energy they want. When we become more conscious, we won't be simply treated as food or batteries anymore. We will know how to manage our energy and emotions, and when we have extra energy to give, we can share it with the beings who need it, just like how plants give their lives to us selflessly. Therefore, we should recognize the power we as humans have here, because we are the main source of energy for everyone in the universe. As we become more conscious, the energy we create will nurture not only our planet and higher dimensions, but also the entire universe.